right, I am excited for this interview with my friend Spencer, Spencer Lee, and Spencer is a new agent and advisor that has only been licensed for about 6 months. Never been in insurance before. I'll let him kind of share his story. Generated over $90,000 of commissions in his first 6 months, and I will kind of dive into that a little bit. So really excited to have you share on here and people kind of hear your story, Spencer. So thanks for coming on here today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely, yeah. So Spencer, if you don't mind, tell us where you're from, kind of a little bit about your family background, that good stuff.
I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I got three kids, a 20-year-old, a 17-year-old, and then we had a 3-year-old. And then my background business is I started a company with me, my dad, and my brother, construction. I went out on my own about 2012 and built a company in the construction area. I built that company pretty big. We were successful. We were making money, but it took every hour away from my family. And so what I was looking for was something that would give me time freedom and money freedom.
So that's awesome.
But
So
mainly,
so
mainly the time freedom.
yeah, time frame. So you were successful in the construction industry, home building, but just really the financially, but time wise, a lot of stress, a lot of time away from your family.
Yep, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
constantly dealing with all kinds of all kinds of stuff you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So you decided to jump into insurance, and I mean, you've never had an insurance license before, right? I mean, I always were in construction, but never in the past. You only just what was it, about 6 months ago, that 6 7 months ago, something like that. Now that you got licensed.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, and the only thing I knew about insurance is it cost me a whole lot of money in the business space.
Yep, exactly. No, I get that. Business insurance, so forth. So were you how long did it take you to get your license and go through that process?
I think it was about 3 weeks it took from starting the studying process to taking the test and getting the license.
Yep. So you jumped right into it. And one of the things I appreciate about you is you know we obviously provide lots and lots of training and different trainings and so forth. And you from the very beginning, I could tell you were all in. Like you were. I mean, I don't know if you've even really missed one. You've been in so many live trainings and just asking questions, learning. You've been a real student, which I think says a lot about you and your success that you had. However, the first 90 days, would you say was a pretty big learning curve for you, just the very beginning?
Oh man, it's a huge learning curve. I can't even sometimes my brain just going,
Yeah,
the stuff you got to know, and it's the main thing that I probably learned through the whole process is just not to give up. And I'm not a person that's going to give up. I never have been. But I went a couple months without getting any kind of money, and it was
yeah,
just costing me money. And being a business owner in the past, I knew that it was going to take some time, and the investment was nothing like it takes to be a business owner in the construction business as
yeah.
far as financially.
Well, and you know, you bring up a good point. I've noticed that for people that are independent agents, people that get started as insurance agents like you weren't scared to invest, and you viewed investing in marketing and leads differently than maybe people that are coming at it from a job. And so I definitely think that's a huge advantage for entrepreneurs and self-employed people that get in the insurance business, because you're already used to that. Like buying, $1,000 of leads or marketing or whatever, that's probably a lot less than the type of investments that you make in the construction business. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, I looked at it as just purchasing tools. That was
Yep.
it. I mean, in the construction world, we got robbed probably 3 to 4 times a year. We'd get our tools stolen. It'd be, $8,000 every time. So
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's good perspective, because a lot of people, they get started and the idea of like putting some money out there in marketing or leads just terrifies them. But that's a great way to look at it. It's just like buying tools in your business. And really, it's really the only real investment most independent agents have to make is in marketing themselves. And obviously there's other ways to go about it, without that, but it's a great way to jump into it. So a couple things I think you did really well. One is you started buying leads, and even though you weren't getting your return, did you feel like you were learning and developing some skill sets and talking to people and understanding your product and all that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then you dove into our processes and our systems, and you weren't scared to maybe lean into some areas that for a lot of people would be uncomfortable. And I'm sure that has to do with some of your past experiences. So all of a sudden you go 90 days, zero commissions. You're actually investing money. You're investing time. You're showing up in training. And then I think it was like your fourth month, you might have had about a $30,000 month. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah,
About,
I think it was, yep, the third month.
did that give you a little belief that there was some real money in this thing?
Oh, I always knew there was money because all
Yep.
the insurance agents that I know are out golfing on Fridays, so I know there's some kind of money in it.
Yeah, exactly. And no, you bring up, yeah, exactly. And I always tell people like what you just said is exactly true. But those are not the agents that have only been doing it for a year. They're the agents that didn't quit in the first year. And this is why this is so important for people to kind of hear your story. Like you can't give up. Like what if given up in the first 90 days where you had nothing to show for it? And you could have made, you could have, not that that's you, but you could have went out there and told a great story, how you worked really hard, got in everything, put money in leads, and after 90 days, you didn't have anything to show for it. But that was not that. And anyway, so that was not the full story. And then I don't know what you did your fifth month. I know your sixth month, I think you got about a $50,000 month, but all in 90,000 plus, maybe closer to 100 in your first 6 months. So pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised that it happened, but it's all about work ethic and it's the little things that you keep doing every single day that's going to add up.
Yeah.
And that's where you achieve success. Everybody sees the end product of success, but nobody sees the actual work it takes.
Exactly. No, it's so true. And for those that are watching, I mean, look, you're kind of the exception, not the rule. I always tell people the rule is your first 6 months are going to be difficult. You may not make a lot of money, but if you're developing skill sets and you're learning, the production and the money always follows if people don't give up and they keep improving. But sometimes there are those exceptions, and you earned it. Like you've leaned into, and you've made some mistakes, not bad mistakes, but you instead of allowing those mistakes to knock you down because they were things you didn't learn, you learned from them, and you've just learned really fast, and you've just been a student. You ask a lot of questions. You've taken a lot of initiative, and I just want to highlight those things because for agents out there looking to make a change, I mean, you've done this in an industry you've never been involved in. One thing for whatever reason, I don't know why, Spencer, but you seem to really follow the process and not felt like you needed to reinvent the wheel. And I don't know why. A lot of sometimes people will get started and they feel like they need to just kind of recreate the wheel. And I think in the very beginning, that's not what you should be doing. The fastest way to make money is to just follow something that already works. And you seem to get that. Was that just something that made sense to you, or what?
I think I learned that growing up in the construction business. I always watched. I had a boss when I was 18 tell me he said I was making like 13 bucks an hour or something like that, and there was another guy on the crew and he was making 17 or $18, and I said, how do I get there? And he said, do what he does. And
Wow.
so I just watched him and
Yeah.
told him, said, teach me everything. I want to make more money.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's just such simple advice, and it's so good. I mean, I don't know why everybody doesn't do that, but I think that it's sometimes we're tempted to just think we can figure out our own way. And if you're not having success yet, the best thing you can do is follow someone that is having success as close as possible. And that's what I love about this industry when it's done right and what it can mean. So hey, I'm just fired up to be partnered with you. I know this is just the beginning. You qualified for our Punta Cana incentive trip, which is absolutely amazing. It actually qualified before the qualification period. You already qualified, so we're going to be having a blast. I know that's just going to be the first of many trips that we're going to travel around the world on. But anything like, where do you see this business going for you? And maybe one piece of advice for any people thinking about getting involved in life insurance and maybe partnering up with us?
I think where I see this business going, I really think this is going to be one of the greatest insurance companies ever built in America because of the leadership that is involved. It's when the leadership cares more about you succeeding than them succeeding, you know it's going to be successful. And that's what I see here is that, Rich and David and all the other guys, you can just tell that they're more excited about you winning than when they win. And when you see that happen, you know it's going to be a success.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's a team effort. There's so many great guys. I know you're Cody and Bob and so many others that are part of this journey. Just so fired up to be in business together. So it's exciting. Well, hey, way to go! Thanks for coming on here and sharing, and really means a lot. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks a lot.